What up, y'all? In this video, I hope it's not too loud, but I was just taking a seat to film real quick because I had this idea. But in this video, I want to talk about how like trying to play it safe with women, like on dates, can actually kind of backfire. And it's not that you know, of course you want to make a woman feel safe, but if you never like make a move, or you're really afraid to touch her, you know, even in more friendly ways, like putting your arm around her, or you know, and doing it with confidence, it can actually backfire and actually, in my opinion, make her feel less safe and less and more anxious, right? So you have to think like if you're okay, a woman, you know, is not really meant to be alone, right? Like even when she was put in the Garden of Eden, you know, Adam was already there, right? So she's gonna feel some anxiety being alone, right? You know, not having a man. That's just their natural way. So sometimes what actually needs to happen is that you need to make a courageous move, which actually spikes her anxiety, such as, you know, putting your arm around her or going in for a kiss. And the reason why is because then she will start living through your courage rather than focusing on her anxiety, right? So of course, you know, going for the kiss is probably going to spike her anxiety a little bit even more initially, but the thing is that then she can start to live vicariously through you, because she's thinking, oh wow, this guy is courageous, right? So I don't have to think about my anxiety anymore. So this actually makes her attracted to you. Does that make sense? And then she can start living basically as one. Together you become one, right? Not like two separate people thinking with their own mind, right? Because that's, you know, how I feel like how women end up maybe friend zoning a guy or whatever, is because he doesn't essentially have her living through him, right? Through his courage and boldness and through making moves. Because like, you don't want it to be where, you know, like if the relationship is high comfort, that means that she's thinking for herself, and you don't necessarily want that, because then, like I'm saying, that means she's single. She's alone in the world and thinking from her own perspective. I don't know, I hope that makes sense. It's the same thing with, you know, you can't necessarily always understand whether a woman is a flirtatious person or whether she's a touchy person unless you model it first, right? So like, that's the danger in thinking, you know, that like you think, okay, she's not the type of girl that would kiss on the third date, or the second date or the third date. And I'm not saying that you have to do that, but I'm saying you don't necessarily want to assume that she's not that type of person, because maybe you just didn't bring it out of her, right? You didn't model it first. And of course, you don't want to take that too far. You don't want to be like thinking, you know, every woman just wants to be physical, and I'm just too weak of a man, so I couldn't bring it out of her, you know? You don't necessarily want to think that, but part of you has to question, okay, maybe this girl does seem quite reserved and structured, but you need to actually step up and make a move and model it first, because that's the only way if you're going to find out if she will reciprocate, right? So yeah, I think a big part of it is that you have to get the girl to live vicariously through you, live through your courage, and that's how she starts to feel like you guys are one mind. I hope that makes sense. So this is why being comfortable, you know, or having a woman live in her comfort zone is actually partially backfires and ends up making her anxious, or not necessarily anxious, but making her feel like she's not living through your leadership, and that's how she'll end up friend zoning you, right? So I hope that makes sense. You want to make a woman feel safe, but you also gotta make moves like putting your arm around her, like grabbing her hand and holding it, so that she can live through your courage. Like I'm saying, it will spike her anxiety at first when you go in for a kiss, but then after, she'll stop focusing on her individuality and start living vicariously through you. All right, so I don't know, drop a comment. It really helps if you understand this concept. I had another thought, and that the other problem sometimes, if you don't actually make a move, is that, you know, she may think that you're kind of afraid to take a risk, and this will actually activate her empathy for you, right? Like, you know, just like seeing you like a little child, like you're not capable, right? And this will activate her empathy, and that's actually not good. You don't want, I know it sounds counterintuitive, but you don't really want to activate a woman's empathy for you, because women, they're empathetic towards their children, right? You want a woman who cares about your feelings because she's attracted to you, not because she's trying to, like once she's empathetic towards you because she knows that you're scared to make a move, then she'll start to feel more bad for you and actually feel scared of hurting you, right? And this is not a good thing, because then, you know, it's just like this loop where you know, she's actually afraid of you trying, because then she knows she has to turn you down because she's not attracted, but she doesn't want to have to turn you down because now she has empathy for you and she's afraid of hurting your feelings, which is, it's a bad loop, I feel like, to get into, right? Like, you have to think about it. Women are attracted to men who are living their own lives and secure in their own lives, and secure in you know, not necessarily that they're going to be devastated by whatever the outcome is, you know. So yeah, it's almost like better if a woman does not have empathy for you, in the sense that she's actually afraid to lose you and actually might even try to make you jealous. Like, that's almost better, because then at least she's treating you like you're strong, like you can handle it. But yeah, empathy, if her empathy is strong for you because you're afraid to make a move, or because you just only build comfort and you know, emotional connection, the empathy actually, I feel like, makes her not attractive. Because like I'm saying, women are empathetic towards their children, not necessarily towards their boyfriend or husband. Of course, if a woman doesn't care about your feelings, that's wrong, but it shouldn't be like a, you know, victimizing type of empathy, like where she sees you as like less than her and needs to be taken care of. So yeah.